Hi, Tom Trento. It's May 20th, 2020. 167 days, ladies and gentlemen, until November 3, when the world's going to change in one direction or another. I'm the director of the United West, and we have a special segment for you today with a dear friend of ours, Jessie Jane Duff. Jessie Jane retired from the United States Marine Corps as a highly decorated gunnery sergeant, and we recently interviewed her, and we asked her some questions about President Trump and the Democrat nominee, Vice President Biden, as it relates to China and other issues. Take a listen to Jessie Jane Duff. Now, you got to listen carefully. She moves very, very quickly with a tremendous amount of information, but listen to her analysis on the China situation, comparing these two individuals and who makes the most sense to vote for on November 3rd, 2020.
Biden has been really just in bed with China, and we all know this. We also know that his son profited off of deals with China. China is one of our biggest national security threats. Make no mistake, anyone. Would it necessarily be a war on the ground? It could be. But are we looking at an economic war? Oh, that has already started. We also know that China is building up in the South China Sea, literally building islands in the South China Sea to call their own for military use. And that is a threat to our shipping. That is a threat to our naval warfare. They have embedded themselves in many locations in South America and Africa to ensure that they receive oil. I mean, we can go on and on about the threat of China, let alone this virus that many people, such as Senator Tom Cotton, a great Army veteran himself, have essentially released information that the intelligence agencies do believe, haven't proven, it was man-made, came from the labs outside of the Wuhan city, not the wet markets in Wuhan.
I can tell you that there is a significant amount of evidence that this came from that laboratory in Wuhan. Look, the best experts so far seem to think it was man-made. I have no reason to disbelieve that at this point.
So we have ample evidence that China has been very aggressive. And what was Joe Biden doing? He had meanwhile said when this initially started that China was not a threat, that it was overrated by President Trump. President Trump said from day one he would end these long-standing wars, the conflicts that never ended. He would address the China situation that has disabled our country and enabled economically and militarily China. Here's another thing many veterans may not be aware of. The Thrift Savings Plan. There's 5 members of the board that were, 4 of them were Obama appointees. 1 was a Bush appointee. They had all approved of having about, I believe it was 12% of our retirement funds being invested by Chinese companies. That means federal employees, that means veterans like myself, anybody receiving a pension from the federal government. Over 12% was going to be invested by these Chinese companies that did not even have to meet the same standards of U.S. companies, the Dodd-Frank laws, any of the laws to ensure that we were not investing in anything nefarious. Essentially, they were going to utilize our funds for their own investment. Now, where would that be going? To the Chinese Communist Party. This president stopped it. That means that money that should be going to American and American companies for our investments and our retirement is not going to fund the Chinese Communist Party. Now, Joe Biden had not offered any of that. Joe Biden didn't even address any of that. In fact, when they were on the plane to China, his son managed to somehow get a $1.5 billion deal from China. Now, had that been Donald Trump Jr., there would have been outrage on both sides, because we don't do that. That is not how we want our governments run. We don't want those type of insider shady deals going on with friends and family of U.S. presidents or vice presidents. So I think the answer is very clear. If somebody is deciding on Joe Biden, I would suggest to them, remember that you want a warrior in that White House. You want somebody who's a fighter. If you're looking for somebody with soft words and cushy attitudes, please tell me, how did that work out for us with George Bush? He was a wonderful man. I respected him. He was my commander-in-chief. But where did that get us? It got us in a greater financial debt. It allowed President Obama to walk in there without any pushback from the right, because people were more concerned with pleasantries and people looking nice and behaving nice versus somebody who said, you know what, I'm not going to listen to what you have to say because what you're saying is inappropriate, it's wrong, and it's a lie. And that is the type of man you want in this White House. That's the only way to reverse course. It's the only way to get the United States back on track.